Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of our series on how to create a new Twitter app with Vue.js, Framework7, and PhoneGap. Now in this episode, we're going to add new functionality to our app in order to give the user the ability to create a new tweet. And yeah, this is going to be pretty easy, I think. So I don't think this episode is going to take too long. Yeah, one more thing about this. Please tell me in the comment section down below if you prefer shorter videos and like a lot of them, or if you like one big video about a specific topic. That would really help me a lot. And yeah, let's dive into the code. We are gonna continue where we left off. There's not much change in our code so far. What we're gonna do is we add a little button here on the top right side of our navigation bar, which the user can click. And when he has done so, he will be able to create a new tweet and send it through CodeBird to Twitter. On the GitHub page of CodeBird, there's an example on how to do this. All we have to do is call the status update method of Twitter and then send as a status parameter the tweet as string. And that's pretty much it for the API call. So there's not much to do about this here, but we need to make some changes to our user interface. And what we're going to do is we use a component which is called picker from Framework7, and I'll show you how this looks like. This is a picker. And in this picker, we're going to add a text area where the user can write his tweet. And when he clicks the link here, then the tweet will be sent. All right. Now, first thing we have to do is add our new button here in the navigation bar. And before we do this, we need to fix a little error in our code. You might have noticed that this part is completely empty. Our navigation bar is completely empty, although there should be a title here in the center. And let me show this. In the code, in home.vue, where is our navbar? Here, see? The navbar has a title which is called twit.vue, and which should appear here in the center, but it doesn't. So we need to fix this. This is actually pretty easy. All we have to do is remove this dynamic navbar because we're not using a dynamic navbar here. And so let's refresh. Oh, there's already. See, this works now. And when we click our tweet, this is working too. So everything is fine, I guess. Yeah, looking good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is add our new icon in the navbar section over here. And Framework7 comes with a few icons built in, but there's a bigger list of icons, which you can see here, which is called the Framework7 cheat sheet. And there's a lot of icons. There's one that's called compose, this one. See? We're going to use this compose icon as a button. But the problem here is that these additional icons are not included in Framework7. So what we have to do is we have to manually install it. And this is actually very easy. You can download them from their GitHub page. So let's do this. Actually, I think I can. Yeah. So you can download this font pack from GitHub if you want. But we use npm, and thankfully the whole pack is also available through npm. So this is all we have to do. npm install Framework7 icons. Okay, so now the icons have been installed into our node modules folder. Where is it? I think it should be somewhere around F. Where is F? Oh my god, it's so many modules. E, F, here it is, Framework7 icons. And we need two things. One is the CSS file for the icons and the fonts. So let's open our index HTML file and reference our CSS. So we're using node underscore modules slash framework7 icons slash CSS slash framework7 icons.css. Okay, let's see if it worked. And let's open our network page, CSS, and there it is, framework7 icons. So now we're ready to use all the icons from our cheat sheet. So in order to display our new icon, we go to home.view and find our navbar, which is over here. And all we have to do is a new F7 nav write item. This is also a Vue component, which is already built into the Vue.js plugin for Framework7. And inside this, we define a new Framework7 link item, and we give them a new class, which is Framework7 icons. Whoops. I think this should be a dash. And then we're going to tell which icon we want. And what we want, oh, it's gone. Where's the cheat sheet? Right here. So we want compose. So let's use this one. And refresh our app. So there it is. We have our icon. So the next thing we're going to do is add our picker. Remember, this is the picker. And using a picker is actually not that difficult. What you need to do is you add it to your user interface outside of the view, because the picker is a modal component and you don't want it within your view or your page. So I'm gonna add it over here. And I'm also gonna give it a class name. So this will be the name of our picker. And within this, we add a new div. And we're also gonna give it a class name. Now, if you leave the component name, it will fall back to a div. So this is the same as this, okay? This is just a shorthand version. And in this picker, you usually define a list. And since we're going to use a text area, we're gonna set form. And in this form, we need a list item. And in this list item, we define our text area. So a text area is usually an input. And we need to define what type it is. So it is a text area. We can define a placeholder if you want. So we're gonna give this a label like new tweet, something like this. And let's just type hello. This will be the text that's being displayed in the text area. Now we don't see the picker yet because it's not showing yet. And I think there's a trick to this. We can give it an attribute which is called opened, I think. Let's see if this worked. Yes. See? it's already there. All right. So first of all, we need a button over here to actually send a tweet. And for this, we're going to use a toolbar. Now, this is the same toolbar that you would use, for example, in a navbar or in a footer. And in this toolbar, we had two links. One to close the picker, and we have to tell this link which picker should be closed. So you do this by defining data picker and give it the name of the picker. And the name of our picker was picker new tweet. And you have to use it as a class, so like this. And then give it a name as a label. And so we're going to name this cancel to, if you want to abort tweeting. And a second link. Actually, just give it a label post here. So as you can see, we have two links now. And if we press cancel, see, the picker gets closed. All right. Now we need to find a way to fetch our content from this text area. And when we click post, we want to send the tweet. Now, in order to do this, we're going to use something that's called two-way data binding. Now, we have used data binding before in episode 2 or 1, I believe. But that was only one-way data binding. So you might remember that we used this tweets array and bound this tweets array to our DOM using the v-for syntax. Now, this is only one way because whenever the data here changes, the DOM will be updated using Vue.js. But if you want to actually change this the other way, like when you change the DOM, for example, if the user types something in the text area, we want our data to be updated. So what we're going to do is, first, we define a new data value, and we just call this new tweet and give it an empty string. And then we do one-way data binding from our new data value into the DOM. And just give it new tweet. So let's see if it works. Yes, see, this works. Now let's also do this the other way around. And if you want to do two-way data binding, what you have to do is you give it a new attribute, which is called v-model, and then you bind it to new tweet. So now whenever this text area changes, our data gets changed as well. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is whenever one of these buttons, actually the one button for posting a tweet gets clicked, we do a call to the Twitter API to actually send the tweet. So this is rather easy. We give it a new attribute and we're gonna bind a new event listener to it. For this, we use v-on, click, and we come on with a new method name. Let's call it send tweet. And then we define our event listener down here. And let's test if this works. Just print OK here. Click. See, we're getting OK. Good. Now all we have to do now is go to our CodeBird README, copy this, as you might remember, we have imported our CodeBird library from this Twitter.js file. So we have to do twitter.codebird.call, and the data that we want to pass in will be the tweet text. So let's define it. Tweet text equals this dot data dot. Actually, we don't need data, I think. All we need is the new tweet, which is this one. All right. And let's first check if this is not empty. And if it is empty, we just notify the user. You have to enter text. And if there is enough text in here, we just send our tweet. And in our callback function, if an error has occurred, we also notify the user, like could not send tweet. But if it has worked, we can close our picker. Now, in order to do this, we just call window.framework7.close modal. This is a universal method that you can use for every modal component in Framework 7. And then we have to tell it which modal component we have to close. And it's called pick a new tweet. All right. Now there's one more thing I'd like to do. When the user had actually clicked the button, I want to show a preloader. So we're going for window.framework7.show preloader. And when we come back to our callback, we're going to hide it. All right, now let's check if this works. So refresh. Let's see, cancel works. Oh, this is not working. Let's check what's wrong. Oh yes, I forgot to bind a click event to our new compose icon. Now there's a pretty neat trick here. If you want to open the picker through a link or a button, you don't have to use JavaScript. What you can actually do is you can give it a class which is called openPicker. And then you have to tell Framework 7 which picker you want to open, which will be picker a new tweet. So let's see if this works. Yes, now it works. Okay, now since this is okay, we can remove our opened, where is it? Here, this one. Because we don't want this to be opened as default. We only want to open our picker when the user has actually clicked our button. So, okay. So I'll click this and cancel, and this works. Let's see what happens if I post. And so we have nothing entered yet. And so we get an error message which says you have to enter text. Okay. And let's try if this works. And we're going to call this is my tweet and post. Okay, so there's no error. Now, if we refresh our page, we don't see our new tweet yet. And that's because Twitter and possibly also CodeBird do a lot of caching. So you would have to disable that first. I don't know if this is possible. So what we're going to do is just go to twitter.com to verify if our tweet has been posted. And yes, there it is. This is my tweet. This is what we have been posted. And yeah, that's it for this episode. We can now read our Twitter timeline. We can search, we can post tweets, and there's actually one thing that we missed, and this is just uh, adding some functionalities to these three buttons. We're gonna skip this because I think this is pretty easy. All you have to do is just do the same thing that we did today in our tutorial. So when you click the reply button, all you do have to do is just open something like this. Um, and there's also a Twit API call for retweeting and liking a tweet. So I think this is too easy and not worth a full no episode. But in the next episode, which will be our final episode of this series, I'm going to show you how to deploy this app into PhoneGap or Cordova and make a true native app that you can run on your device on iOS and Android. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's also very easy to do. So I'm really looking very forward to it. If you want to see this new episode, make sure to subscribe and just click on my face over here. If you liked this video and if it was helpful to you, please click on the like button. If you want, you can also follow me on Twitter. And yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next episode. Bye.